What is happening, YouTube? I'm back. I've got a new addition to the fleet of vehicles. It is a 2007 Nissan Versa. Need something for my wife because she's driving a lot more now. She bought a business and back and forth. That thing is just guzzling the gas. So this guy gets about 25 to 28 in town, about 30 on the highway. It, like I said, 2007, bought it 138,000 miles on it, paid $29.50 for it. It's got issues. Mechanically seems good. One thing I've noticed, the guy when he started it up, fuel pressure, I assume is a fuel pressure regulator problem. First crank wouldn't start, second crank fired right up, and we drove it, turned it off, turned it on, fired up fine. Then it sat for a while, then tried starting again, took 2 starts again. Pretty sure, reading forums, it's a fuel pressure regulator. And I'll make a video on changing that when I get to it. I'm just kind of going to go over it right now and tell you all the things I plan on fixing on it. It's fairly clean for an 07 model. Like I said, it's got a bunch of issues, a lot of cosmetic stuff. It has been through a hailstorm, and the back tail trunk, whatever, hatch trunk has been beat up. This has been replaced because this is full of glass, so I need to get that off and fix that. And that brings me to one of the issues, which is the trunk. I guess is not, it doesn't have an actual lever. It's got a button here. It's doing nothing. I'm not getting any signal to the latch at all. So either it could be a fuse, or it could just be the latch mechanism itself has just lost its ability to communicate with the switch, or the switch is garbage. Could be any of those issues. So that's the first thing I'm going to tackle, and I'll tackle that in this video. Like I said, the fuel pressure regulator, I'll do that on another video. And then I've got just multiple little things I want to touch up on. There's a cracked tail light. I think I'm just going to hit that with some, I don't know, super glue or something to kind of seal the crack. That way I don't get any water inside of there. Tires are pretty much bald. I'll have to change those. It's missing a cap here, the door latch. See if I can run one of those down. Probably won't be able to find one in this color, so I'll get whatever I can get and rattle can it to death. Inside it seems pretty clean. It definitely was a smoker, but not terribly smelly. So I think I can get, I've had several vehicles with cloth interior that have been smokers, and after about 2 months of using it and cleaning it, I've gotten all the smoke smell out. So I was not too concerned about that. Got a cracked dash, and that's just the centerpiece. I could probably replace it, but we're going to use it as it's going to be a vehicle for our work, so it will get expensed on that. I bought this because this top of the steering wheel was so worn out, the metal bar was actually showing through. And when it sits in the sun, you put your hands on it, right away, burn you. But I didn't like, I pretty much put steering wheel covers on all my steering wheels I get. It's just because they just feel so gross over time. Like they've just had everybody's goo impregnated into them, and it's just kind of gross. So a little automatic. Everything seems to operate well. Cold AC, transmission shifts fine. I was a little concerned on some blow-by. I took the oil cap off, but reading on the forums and stuff, they seem to say it's fairly normal. But I'll check all the PCV and evap stuff, make sure it's clear. Usually when there's a problem with a PCV or an evap, you've got a code that triggers. As you can see, more hail damage. These are just plastic pieces. I'm sure I could find one of these and replace that, which I probably will, just because it looks disgusting. What the heck? That just came right out. That was easy. I don't even know what the purpose of that is. So, I'll chip in the windshield. Probably get that fixed so it doesn't spread. Other than that, pop the hood. Oh, that's the other thing I gotta fix. I guess this might be a common problem, but All the clips back behind these just broke, so they won't hold the cables anymore. Oop, that was the trunk, or the gas. That's the front lid. And I'll have to clean those up. As you know, I bought it from a dealership, and you can tell they cleaned it, because if you look down in by the engine there, you can kind of see about right there, there's just a perfect little cut line of where it looked like the power washer hit it and all the oily goo. But it doesn't drip anything. I looked underneath, no oil dripping. So it's just fairly clean. I'll pull the filter out, check it too. Just go through it. So, all right, so we'll get to popping the hatch loose, and maybe we can diagnose and figure out what's going on with that. All right, got it out. So you've got multiple clips running along all this spot up here. I just took my fingers behind it, gently start from one corner, pop, 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 pop. Kind of get it tilted this way because there is a spot right here that the molded handle fits into, and that kind of grabs right there. So that's how you get that off. And then those just have clips, and that one right there, it just pops off with a couple clips. Pretty easy stuff. So I guess the jack wagons who replaced the glass didn't hook the defrost back up, because these were just kind of hanging out there with the old clips stuck in them. So that's easy. This I don't understand though. I had this tapped in this wire right here, which that goes to the trunk lid switch. So either they thought they weren't getting a right ground or something. I don't know what they're doing, but I think I will be ohming the switch and checking the fuses. I'll make sure I can have power there too, because that's just weird. I would assume, which makes sense, that when you have the car locked, it turns the power off to this. That way nobody can come back here and just open up the hatch. And then once the car's unlocked, there's probably a relay that switches over and puts power back to the switch so you can open it up. That's my assumption. I don't know that for sure, but hopefully it's just a switch. I guess we'll find out. Alright, I got my meter set up here. Got it on DC. I got my ground up there on a ground. And I went ahead and just plugged in my positive side. I already determined that the blue one, without the little gray, if it would focus, the little gray ring on it, that blue one coming as power in. To check my switch, I just put it on the other end, so the power should go through the switch and back. So I will hit the switch. There, 11.8 volts. So the switch is working, so I'm not getting a signal through the line through there. It's got to be going back into the electronics back there somewhere, so it could be a fuse. I'll go check that. Alright guys, so with the help of the forums, which are always handy, so here's the issue. Reach under, press the button. Nothing's happening. The door is clearly unlocked. So what is happening, and I'll show you in a second. What's happening is there's a value output when this door is locked. And it's coming through this connector. That little orange wire is the one coming back from the hatch. It loops through and everything like that. Anyways, you loop yellow to black to quote bypass. Then it works. So the problem, I guess, is in the door mechanism here. It's not reading that the unlock, because you know when it locks it creates a separation from your handle in here, so when you pull your handle it obviously doesn't open the door. So there's a switch inside there, and right now it's stuck where it always thinks it's locked. And when it always thinks it's locked, then your hatch isn't going to open. So, I'm going to attempt to pull that thing apart, take it apart, see if it's fixable. If not, then I'll have to order another one or get one at a junkyard. But get one at a junkyard, might end up with the same situation. So I'll touch base when I get it apart. Alright, so I got it out. What you're going to have to do is take the bolt off of here. This little window guide just pretty much pops out and gets out of the way. And then you got 3 of these Torx wrench, which I don't even know where the heck it went. There it is. Torx. I think it's one size larger than this, and for some reason I'm missing it off my rack, the one that's right there. But this one worked. I think it's a size T27, might be a T28. Might be the right size. Anyway, so this comes off the actual handle up there. You just pop it out, and then there's a little groove that you can pull that out of near the top. You'll see it with a light. And then the handle side is just one screw right there, and then the whole thing pushes this direction and then pops through those holes. So now I'm going to take it inside where I have some good light. Looks like this thing's not supposed to be serviceable. It's got all these little, I don't know if you can see that or not. It's got all these little ends. Well, crud, where is it? Oh, here they are right here. So these are look like they've been heat mashed to cause a spot where you can't open it, but they have all these clips around the sides. So, I mean, right now it doesn't work. So, you know, I'm gonna break those and open this thing up. But listen to this. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Something broken in there. So take it apart and see what we can do. Alright, we're apart. Take this off real quick so we can get some light on the subject. So taking it apart was a little difficult. Getting this off, I pretty much broke all the clips around the edges and the stuff, and I don't care. I could just put some adhesive and some tape or maybe some zip ties somehow around it, just hold it back together if I need to do that. I can figure that out after the fact. So after I took and trimmed all the little nubbins off with my razor blade, they're just basically these little plastic round heads, these guys right here. Just cut them off. Got this thing open. So that rattling piece was this guy right here. And it actually, it's supposed to be on right in here. And what that does is when this thing spins and rotates for the locking position, it hits this little micro switch. And that's telling it it's locked or it's unlocked. With that little nubbin broken off, it's like a little cam pretty much. It's not rotating and pressing the switch, which is basically, I guess, closing the circuit. So I've either got to try to repair this and put it back on there or buy another one. So, but this, if you're having this problem, that's where you're at. And if I can get a successful repair, I'll show you that. Next step. Well, I was unsuccessful at a repair. I could not get the plastic to hold, and it's just kind of a crappy design because it looks like it gets under pressure and just pops that little piece off. I ordered a used one on eBay for 50 bucks. Hopefully it's not broken. They say it's 100% operational, but we'll see when I get it in. So I'm going to put this back just so I can shut the door and lock it and wait till the new part comes in. So good luck.